Well, hi, everybody. I have got my friends here, Janet and Amy, and today we are talking about how to give a superb client appreciation events, as well as to what are you doing differently in 2025 in real estate to bring more closings your way. So I'm super excited trying to figure out this Instagram and going live on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure I did it or not, but we shall see. Anyway, maybe I'm live on Instagram, maybe not. I don't know about that. But anyway, thank you, ladies, for being here with me today.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
I'm super excited. And Janet, you were nervous, but you're over your fears. I promise you this is going to be
Yes,
so easy.
over it. Already
Awesome.
over it.
Done. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So who wants to start off with client appreciation?
Amy, do you want to go?
Sure. When I first got in real estate, I wasn't big on client appreciation. And then I would say, honestly, the busier I became, the more the need for client appreciation events came up. It wasn't the other way around. When I was slower, I was able to follow up with my clients one-on-one
Hmm.
really easily. And it wasn't until I grew my team and my younger agents really wanted to do client appreciation events. And I thought, oh, I grew this team without having to do them. I didn't want to do the big events. I liked the smaller one-on-one, but we've really, in the last couple of years, embraced the client appreciation events and love them. And so we we do spring and fall. We've done Christmas time before, but we do a whole bunch of other things at Christmas that keep us very busy. So we focus on client appreciation events in the spring and in the fall. In the spring, we do strawberry picking. In the fall, we do a fall festival at a pumpkin patch, which has been amazing. Um, and because most of our clients are, well, we do a lot with military. And as a result, we also do a lot with families. So our
Hmm.
client appreciation events are all family centric. We have done, the Christmas wine tasting parties for adults, but our best client appreciation events always involve the kids, and we have the biggest turnout. And we love them. So we use them. It gives us an excuse, even for the people that don't come, it gives us an excuse to follow up with them,
That's
to
right.
reach out to them, to see them face to face. And it was really kind of cool this year. I had 3 or 4 people uh, come to our fall festival that I had actually never met face to face, which is unheard of, right? So I've sold them houses they bought. We have texted back and forth. We're on Facebook. But I'd never met them because they bought sight unseen, closed sight unseen. They are almost all of them are military.
Yeah.
And then just over the years, whether it be me dropping off a gift and they weren't home, that type of thing. I had 3 families I had actually never laid eyes
Wow.
on face to face that showed up, and it was really neat. I mean, I feel like I knew them, but here I am like, oh, I hope I recognize them. I hope they look like their picture when they came
Yeah.
because they had RSVP'd. But
Okay.
um, but yeah, we have come to really love and embrace the client appreciation events. And I will say I was probably a late adopter to this. I think Janet, you do quite a few, don't you? You're big into client appreciation events.
You know, I don't. I only do one each year. But I have a whole marketing calendar and like the way we stay in touch with the clients that I was going to share, which is not really necessarily just about the event, but we do a lot throughout the year, like a tremendous amount. Like every month, we're doing something for the clients.
Are you doing
So
little stuff like smaller things type thing or
yeah,
giveaways or
some smaller stuff. The big client event that we do is the sunflower farm. It's kind of like the fall appreciation, like you were
yeah,
mentioning. So we
yeah,
do that in October.
yep.
So, and we have usually, I mean, I say we, but it's really me because I'm the only producer on the team. But I have about 200 people show up to that.
Wow.
So in my database, and I was listening, Jennifer, to one of your other Monday little
Mhm.
calls, and you guys were talking about how many people in your database. And I was like, OMG. I'm like, I'm nowhere close to you guys. I have 240 people in my database. Like
Wow.
it is tiny.
And then
And
200 of those are your past clients?
well, I have 240 in my database, and they're all past clients.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
we got,
well, I mean, maybe 20% is something else like contractors
yeah.
or, a friend or whatnot, but it's mostly past clients.
Wow.
So, so it's pretty small.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do 4 parties a year, but I'm with you. We do monthly, different reasons to call
Hmm.
or pop by.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite ones that you like to do, Janet?
In terms of the monthly,
Mhm.
So, I mean, my big monthly go-to is actually Boomerang, which is not me, obviously. So
So
that's
tell me
just the
about it.
mailer. So do you guys do Boomerang?
Never heard of it.
So
No.
Boomerang, if you Google it, it's like a company that will take your database and they will send a coupon to wherever they live.
Okay.
So all my Boulder clients get Boulder coupons. All my Louisville clients get Louisville coupons every month. And they're better than just a free cup of coffee. It's like buy one, get one pizza or something like that. So they're really a lot better than just
And it
a coffee.
mails, it's a postcard that gets mailed to them.
Yeah. It's called Boomerang. Oh, I have one right here. This one is for a really fancy restaurant. And here they get a free appetizer, which is
Okay.
like a $15 value at
Yeah,
this restaurant.
that's awesome.
So Boomerang is something we do monthly, and my clients love it. That's probably
Yeah.
the thing I've gotten the most feedback on is Boomerang.
Wow.
You can do it on a quarterly basis, you can do it on a monthly basis, twice a year, whatever you want to do. So I've been doing that for a number of years, and I would say that has our most response. But things I'm doing different this year, kind of like the other part of the conversation today, is this year, starting this year, I started doing anniversary deliveries. And when you have a database like you have, Jennifer, in terms of the size, there's no way you could do it, right?
No, but I've, out of the database, so my database does have 33,000, but that's 33,000 people potentially going to buy or sell from our past clients. It's about 1,000, but then I've broken it down into my top 250.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we do the same thing. My database is huge, but they're categorized.
Yeah,
so I can pull, not all of them are client appreciation categorized. Some of them, I have the A list, from
Right.
Brian Buffini. Yeah, my A list. And we're
Yes.
always refining. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, one of the fun things that you should do, Amy, or you should look into doing is an Easter egg hunt, because that is really fun for all ages. And I do large Easter eggs for the adults and then small Easter egg for the kids. And it's
That's actually
and
on our
people-
radar. That's actually on our radar, which I'm so excited. So I'm going to pick your brain then offline on that one. Is switching.
Get a bunny rabbit, get a photographer. They have fun.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
a really good
And
deal.
we had a we looked at doing like little baby chicks one year, or doing the Easter photos and bringing my marketing director out there and doing family photos. Yeah, we actually have our team brainstorming, which was originally scheduled for October, which is typically when we do it. And one of my team members who's critical got sick, and so it's next week, and that is on our schedule, where we lay out the entire year. So we'll pick the dates and start hard scheduling everything so that we can plan
And
for it.
I'll tell you another one that we did. I didn't do this year just because the year got away from me, but another one that we do that everybody really loves. We found a local animal shelter that is a non-kill shelter. So they need money. They need money for supplies. They need food. They need shots, they need medicine, they need stuff. So we partner with them. We've been doing it in October, and in October, what we've done is a costume contest for pets.
Oh, fun.
How fun.
And everybody has fun. And we do it at a local brewery, but it is a family style. It's a brewery, but they have fun stuff for all ages. They've got pinball machines and adult body size pool tables we get on there and play with, like kicking the ball instead of anyway, it's fun for all ages. But interestingly enough, when you bring the animals, it's the one client event that clients mingle and talk to each other, and an animal dressed up is a huge conversation piece that everybody seems to like. And then we've got vendors that'll have baskets to raffle off, but we'll end up getting several $1,000s that at the end of the party we donate to that animal shelter, which is
that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
clients love it.
Yeah, we're kind of like you, Janet. We do stuff throughout the year as well, and our years differ sometimes. I mean, we're in a military environment, so we sponsor carrier homecoming sometimes, and we'll help the spouses groups with their homecomings and set up tables with stuff for the kids to occupy them. Every year is a little bit different. Things that we're really consistent on, we are knee deep at Christmas time. My dad started our team 30 years ago, He's long since retired now, but
I
he
didn't know
started
that, Amy.
delivering. He delivered chocolate covered cherries so we do property management and listings and sales. So he would
Yeah.
deliver chocolate covered cherries to our local, to our tenants who are all local, and all our local owners. And then basically his equivalent of an A list. I call it the A list, his kind of top repeat referral list. My sister
Yeah.
grew up from her earliest days wrapping boxes of chocolate covered cherries. And now our kids do it. And
Yeah.
we deliver those cherries. I honestly, I hate chocolate covered cherries. I think they're nasty. But honestly, we're so embedded in that tradition that there was one year when I was younger and in my early days of real estate, I was with my dad. He had the flu. We personally deliver a couple hundred boxes in December.
That doesn't
And
days, weeks, a couple hundred.
Oh yeah, it takes weeks. And now there's 5 of us that deliver. And one year we were out delivering, and my dad was driving and I was doing the running, and I came up to the door, and this little boy runs to the door and he said, Mommy, the cherry man's here. And so we couldn't
I
not
think it's
deliver.
being consistent,
It's consistent.
right?
So I started 21 years ago with wrapping paper because I don't like cherries. So I deliver a roll of wrapping paper and a tape, and that like $5 gift has gotten me so many sales over the years. One year, so when he delivers wrapping paper, I tie my list in. Now we separate, and there's 5 of us on the staff. We have a master list. We divide all the tenants, the owners, and then our own personal A list. We add them in. And we deliver. There have been years where I was so pregnant I had to hire somebody to do it because I couldn't get in and out of the car that fast.
Wow.
But one year I delivered a roll of wrapping paper, and I was so late that year. I was running behind. I was also pregnant that year. And I opened a storm door and set a roll of wrapping paper against the front door of the house. And that year I had tied a little bell from the dollar store onto the roll of wrapping paper and a roll of tape. And there's always a little card that talks
Yeah.
about wrapping up the end of the year. And it kind of gives that year-end wrap up. And this family that I was delivering to, they had run out of wrapping paper on Christmas Eve.
It's like
And
perfect timing.
the wife made the husband go to Walmart to get wrapping paper, and he was really upset, and he went to the front door and opened the front door, and a roll of wrapping paper falls into the foyer with a bell on it, and he thought it was a gift from God. And he said, he called me on Christmas Day and said, if I ever sell my house, you have my business. I got a sale that year out of it and a purchase from that couple. And then years later, they separated and I got another sale out of it. And so I think it's just being consistent. So there's things that we've done consistently for 20 years, and that, $5 gift. And then some years we mix it up, like the carrier homecomings or we kind of reevaluate every year on what we can plug in. We've done sunflowers one year, and now you're inspiring me to do sunflowers again because that was really popular. What did you do with the sunflowers?
So I think she's referring to the sunflower farm. Are you referring to the sunflower farm that I just mentioned?
Yes.
Or the sunflower?
Yes, we did sunflower farms one year instead of strawberries, and that was popular. They came out and they got to take pictures in front of the sunflowers. That's a small, in our area, that's a small window of time though when they're in their peak growing season. So you got to time that right.
I don't know that we have a sunflower farm here. I've never heard of that.
So the sunflower farm here is just more like a farm. It's not necessarily just sunflowers. And I rent out the whole farm for the client appreciation event.
Ooh.
So it's just my clients at the farm. So when there's a mass grouping of people and they realize you closed it to the public and it's just your clients, they're like, oh, wow, you do like a lot of business, right? So it's pretty awesome. I've been doing it for 15 years now, the sunflower farm party. So like you were saying, Jennifer, I think consistency is the name of the game. We have a band, we have a photographer, we have a huge food spread, adult drinks, kids gift baskets, like this, the whole thing. So people love it. I've been coming to it for many, many years. It's just kind of something they look forward to every year. So it's great. So I think consistency, though, is the name of the game. I've been in the business 20 years. I think you too, Amy, if I remember right. Yeah. And I've gone down 3 times in 20 years. And other than that, I've always gone up. So in terms of production, so I haven't had this kind of like roller coaster ride through my career, which I'm super grateful for. But I think it's because of the consistency of the marketing. So I absolutely stick to a plan and I execute on that plan every year. And it's 80% the same plan every year.
That's awesome.
Ours is about the same, Janet. We're about the same. It's about 80% the same every year. we tweak it a little bit or throw something else in, but it is all about consistency, and people come to expect it. I mean, there are years if I don't do certain things, people will call me and say, "Are you out of the business? Because I didn't get my wrapping paper, or I didn't get, you know."
Yeah.
So
that's how it was when we didn't do the dog event this year. I had probably 50 people call to ask me why, and wanted to make sure they weren't off the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
thank you for coming.
I think we're going to redo it this coming up year. I think we're either going to do like a dog fashion show or a kickoff to football season and have the dogs wear their favorite jerseys, something along those lines. It's hard. October's hard. We do a big pie event in November, and to do 2 big events back to back, I mean, it does take months of planning and scheduling and organizing it, and then you throw a lead in there, and I just ran out of time.
That's actually why we don't do pies, is because we do that big fall festival in October. And when you do a big one, you're right, it's hard to do them back to back. And honestly, I think you get a better turnout spacing them out.
Agree. 100% agree. Yeah, I agree with you. So then moving into 2025, what are you planning to do differently or tweak what you're doing or add to your business? Amy, we talked a little bit about this with you, but nobody online heard it. So talk about moving 2025 and what you're going to do.
Oh, we're so excited. 2025 is going to be a good year for us. So our business model is a little bit different. I think I touched on, because we do listing sales and property management. So we have a pretty big team, and we stay busy year round. It's very consistent for us. When sales are up, rentals are down, and vice versa. We're never slow. But that being said, there's 4 of us agents. One's on sabbatical right now. So 3 active producing agents. And then a fairly large staff because of the property management side. And we're in the process of redoing our mission and vision statement after being in business for 21 years. We're recycling. We're kind of doing a refresh, which is fun. And I'm bringing the staff that's currently on board with us. And some of them have been with me. I have one that's been with me 14 years, one that's been with me 11, but some of them are brand new. And so we want them to feel like they're part of, now that they've been with me a year or two, to be part of that mission and vision. So we're revamping that. I brought on a new marketing director last year, and he has a podcasting background. And after years of some people pushing me on podcasts, we launched a new podcast in November, which is fun. And so we're doing that.
Podcast. Give us the elevator speech. Tell everybody when they can watch it, how they can find it. Yeah, give us a quick synopsis about your podcast.
Okay, so we air every Thursday. Absolutely. We air every other Thursday. We started on Thanksgiving. We just aired our 2nd episode, actually, and recorded our 3rd. We talk about wealth building, generosity, and family success. So I'm a mom of 3 young boys, all topics very near and dear to my heart, teaching the kids entrepreneurial skills, teaching them. I mean, they see mom working in real estate every day. They've grown up with it. They've delivered signs. They've delivered wrapping paper. They've been on walkthroughs since the very beginning. But teaching entrepreneurship, and then bringing it all the way back to wealth building, and everything from how to buy your first home and how to not get focused on interest rates to, if you're an entrepreneur, should you have a C Corp or an S Corp, and when should you incorporate? We focus on generosity. Our last episode was on our toy drive that we do at the Children's Hospital, our local Children's Hospital. And this past week on Thursday, we delivered an entire moving truck of toys and gifts to our local hospital.
That's awesome.
Yes, so it was amazing, and I got to feature my. I co-own my brokerage with another woman. She's been doing this for 30 years, and then Tracy Lewis Van Camp, who's also a REMAX agent. You guys, a lot of you know her, and she started this whole thing. So I got to feature the 2 of them. So we focus a lot on generosity as well, because I think part of what wealth building and what gives me a reason to work hard is be able to teach my kids and be able to give back. Like most of us, I would say 99% of the great agents that are in the field are driven by the ability to give back. And so we focus on that. So it's pretty exciting.
What's the name of it? Where can we find it?
Dollars and Cents, the podcast. And you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube and all the social media channels.
Okay. Love it. Okay. I'm going to go look for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are you doing differently? And I started a podcast too. My Different Market, we turned into a podcast, which is fun. But that's on Spotify. But what
you're amazing, and you were inspiring, Jen. Talking to you at different events and watching you grow this has been very inspirational.
It's been stressful
Yeah.
and fun. When I met Janet for the first time at Elite, that's correct, right?
Yes.
I always look like a deer in headlights because doing this so often, we're now on our 320th episode.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, and
amazing.
it's hard to remember who's been on or not. But when I met with Janet and was talking to her about it, she's like, "What? Huh?" And I was, then when I called her afterwards, I was like, "Remember, you told me you would do it."
I was like, oh,
I just met you, woman.
hi.
Do it to me.
I love it.
Funny. So funny.
But
No, different this year. This coming year, like I said, we just started the anniversary gifts. So we give a little drop off, a little present to everybody that, well, actually, what we do, let me explain this right. So every month, so starting in January, we look at all our January closings for the past 20 years and we deliver to everybody that closed in January. And then we go through each month. So everybody gets an anniversary gift, regardless if it was 17 years ago or 2 years ago. So we do that, and it's like a little market analysis. It's a gift of some sort, like wine, flowers, that kind of thing, little cake. And then also different this year, and I heard somebody else talk about it at Elite. I forget who it was, but we're going to start doing quarterly happy hours, more area specific. So my sunflower farm party won't be so overwhelming. It'll be nice to connect with people more on a one-on-one basis. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting to do that and see what the turnout is. I'm in the process of taking on somebody else's business. And so we're going to also incorporate her clients into that.
Nice.
And then we'll do quarterly happy hours.
Do you know Deborah Guy in
I
Denver?
don't.
You should reach out to her. I'll see if I can connect y'all as far as taking over somebody's business, because she does that. She has done that quite frequently and has a level of success with doing that and how to do that. She's
Awesome.
got
That'd be
great ideas. I did a show with her. Gosh, I guess it was back in October. I think it was back in October that we did one. And she had really good insight and in ways to best help those people and make them not feel like an orphaned client.
Right.
She had really good insight. As far as the smaller parties, we do those. I haven't done those this year, but I've done those in the past. There's a cute little, like a boutique little wine shop next door to me. And
Yeah.
I invite like 10 people at a time. And I'll do it based on either location, based on something that reminds me of each other. Maybe it's they're in the military. Maybe they have the kids the same age. Maybe they all came from out of state, but whatever it is, I try to loop them into whatever they remind me of each other. And it's been really interesting because I have 3 families that met at one of my events that this is like the 3rd or 4th year that they've had Thanksgiving together, but it was at one of my events. So I think that's super
fun.
cool. Yeah, I consider myself a matchmaker, right?
Yeah.
Not just you to your house, but you to friends, family, the shop, hairdressers, doctors. I mean, pretty born and raised in the Wilmington area, real estate 17 years, so not quite y'all. But you definitely build those connections, and it's nice when you can help your other people get there.
No, I love that.
So then
I've
you're
even
doing
done that.
quarterly?
Wait, what's that?
Janet, you said quarterly?
Quarterly.
Mhm.
But very area specific. So Boulder will be its own. Lafayette, Louisville, some other towns around us will be their own. So it's just going to be, I'm trying to come to their community instead of, hey, why doesn't everybody come to Boulder because I'm in Boulder? So I'm just trying to really kind of go to the downtown of wherever they're at and do a little happy hour.
Oh, that'll be fun. I
Janet,
can't wait to see how that goes.
Yeah.
I think they're really cool when you get into those small areas and you focus on one area, because when you bring those people together, they neighbors and friends that live right down the road that they didn't even know, because you're inviting people from such a small area or community, and you really get to talk to them and know them better, catch up with them on a more intimate level. I love it.
I think that is so key, because my pie event, we have like 170 people that come, 170 families that come. And I'm so much like, it's great seeing you. Okay, it's great seeing you. Oh, let me get a hug. That I really don't get to connect. So I like doing the small events. We've also done the wine and design, and that was fun too.
Oh, that's
what
fun.
Is that? What'd you do?
Wine and design.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we went, it was Halloween one year, and I just invited 30 of my female clients. And it was a place. Don't you have like is that still a thing where you pay and you do a design, you paint a picture?
Oh, like a painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What is it my accent?
No, I don't. Ours isn't called Wine and Design, but similar concept. I'm
But
trying to
it's the
remember what it's called.
concept.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, we've done
The
staff
physical
parties
place
there.
here, that's the name of it. Sorry, Wine and Design,
Yep.
but it's the concept. But it's
Yeah.
fun, and it wasn't real crazy pricing.
Nope.
And everybody gets to mingle and talk, and it's kind of fun to see the end pictures and all
Yeah.
that.
We've shared a lot of giggles over those, over who's
Yeah.
the good artist and who's not.
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Yes. One year, the year that I did it, agent on my team drank too much and decided to paint her client's face. The client was not happy. Not happy at all. It was a bad idea, very bad idea. It's funny. I try to tell agents that whenever we have anything involving alcohol, it's not our place to drink it, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
we need to stay sober and enjoy our clients.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
funny.
so then, Amy, what are you doing differently in 2025? You're doing your podcast, which is huge.
Yep. Doing my
Is that your
podcast.
number one change?
It's probably our biggest one. I've integrated my staff and my team a little bit more, not just my agents, but my, my listing and sales coordinator, all of my staff into the goal planning and the setting. We're changing up. We're letting them dictate some of the charities and switching up some of our charity work. We brought on Sisu for a while, and I don't know that we're loving Sisu. We're going to delve deeper into KV Core this year and see. REMAX has been so great about throwing out some new features on KV Core. From the time they introduced KV Core to us, it's continued to grow. So we are hoping to dig deeper into KV Core, determine whether we still want to stick with Sisu. We also have another transaction management software that because we're 21, 30 years into this, if you count my dad's legacy, our database, we're in a CRM called Top Producer that once upon a time
Yeah, I
was,
used to have Top Producer years ago, but man,
yes.
that's so antiquated by now.
So we use Appfolio for property management. And so our property management, we switched over a couple of years ago and really focused on our property management software and our property management systems and procedures and things like that. And so this year we're going to focus more on, our CRM, delving into KV Core. I put out some feelers trying to get some people to do training, both for my team and for my office, because I know that there's a lot of agents that want to delve deeper into KV Core. So
Me too.
yeah, we're excited
Awesome.
this year.
Find out who could teach you more. I would love to learn. I don't do KV Core, but I would love to start.
Yes,
So
and we
anything
don't.
to learn with that.
Yeah,
Amy,
I've got.
did you ever find your camera?
What's that?
Did you ever find your camera?
I did not. No, and I finally bit the bullet over Thanksgiving. No, it was post Thanksgiving. I was waiting for it to go on sale on Thanksgiving because for those that don't know, we were at a REMAX event and I had a brand new camera that was stolen.
Okay, let me be clear. Like literally the next day after I make Amy, I'm like, oh my God, that's the coolest camera. Send me the link. And then I hear it got stolen. So I was like, shit, it wasn't me, I promise.
No, I got a lot of questions because it's a very tiny, small camera that I had bought. I drug my feet on using. And I was super excited to have it running and be feeding footage of the retreat that we were on back to my marketing director. And I had not even uploaded all the footage yet when it was stolen during our lunch break. And so I did finally bite the bullet. I bought a new one just recently. And
the same thing, the same one.
Exact same one, because I already have all the software and the accessories. They only took the camera. They didn't take the accessories, the charger, or anything. They took my camera with the camera card.
Wow.
So yes, honestly, somebody needed it more than I did. So, and there were I didn't lose any family pictures, right? Everything on there I can redo. So.
Yeah.
And that's good. Good. Gosh.
So, yeah.
I haven't ordered it yet, but that is on my list too. Yeah, my goal is to implement. I hired a videographer this year. I hired one last year too, but it didn't work out. But I've hired a new one this year to try to get more footage, more videos.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. Talk to me.
I was just say, we've we've cycled through. We had great photographers, and then the company we used closed, and I do some in-house photography. We're constantly, it feels like, fine-tuning photography and videography. And then as the technology changes or things come out, and we're changing the way we do things. I have a smaller team too. I think we were talking offline about this. Janet's got a smaller team. Our 3 agents, one of our agents has a YouTube channel, and she started the YouTube channel a couple of years ago, and we were really great about it. She got really busy off of it, and so where our focus is to refocus. Some of those videos have really grown, but we're putting an emphasis on all the video, all the YouTube, keeping in contact, and just being a resource for people is kind of where we're regrouping. How can we be a resource for everybody?
I think that is super, super smart. Okay, so I've got Denise from Orlando has a question. Do the same people go to both client appreciation parties in 1 year? For me, we do 4, and yes, they definitely do. They love them. What about you guys?
We do. Yeah, we get our 2 big ones, our spring and our fall. You always have people that can't make it that want to come, but you always have repeat people that come.
Yeah.
That's right. And they meet each other and start looking forward to seeing each other. So Mark Cannon says, yes, can you believe it? And Mark, when are you going to be on it? You need to let me know. See, be careful telling me all that kind of stuff, because I'll have you on there in a second. Ask Janet.
Yeah.
We've got Jason Panos from Florida, and Brandon from Raleigh, and Kelly from Greensboro, and Cindy from Chicago. Yes, and I saw Mark Cruz is also from not from Chicago. He's from Colorado.
There's some great names on today.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really good people watching and talking. So awesome. So anything that you want to wrap up with?
I would say consistency is the name of the game. And I've said that a few times, obviously. So I think consistency, I'm with you, Amy, on the gratitude piece. And we do a circle of gratitude in November, a little card that we put out because I sponsor, I keep saying we, but it's really me. I sponsor 15 different charities, either local or national. And it's been very consistent for the past 20 years with the same charities. So we let our clients know that, and we call it the circle of gratitude because we could not do that without the support of their business.
That's right.
So I think in, this season, in terms of a wrap up, I know I am super grateful for my business and where I'm at and the opportunity that I have. And I think it's really important that we give back to the communities that we live and work in.
Amen. How true.
Yeah.
Very true. Anything with you, Amy, to wrap it up?
I've talked to a lot of agents who are excited about next year, but then I've talked to several who feel like this end of the year has gone really fast and they haven't set their goals yet for next year, and they haven't sat down, and they're feeling a little deflated and behind. I think a lot of people are feeling behind the 8 ball this year, mostly because I think Thanksgiving and Christmas were so close together and it's feeling rushed. And I would say it is never too late to sit down and do your goal planning. I mean, yes,
the worst thing that you could do is not doing it. You agree?
Yes, you're absolutely right. It is the worst thing you can do is to not do it at all. And we set a goal to do it in October so that we're implementing by January. And this year it just didn't work out. One of my key players landed in the hospital, and I decided we weren't doing this without her. Like, I wanted her to be fully involved. And so we switched some things around and did things in October that we would normally do in December. And we were prepping for the holidays. And now we're going to sit down after Christmas when we can breathe, and we're going to plan out the year. And so are we a little bit behind where we want to be? Yes, but intentionally. It is never too late to sit down and plan out your year. And it really gives you direction. You're not sailing, lost at sea.
Because one thing real estate agents do quickly is to spend money. I mean, I usually take the 4th quarter, October through December, and I go through every month. What am I spending? What are the subscriptions I have that I don't use? And trying to say what's making money, what's not making money, and hone into, putting your money at the things that are actually making you money. Because I think we're all kind of guilty of that. And then definitely fine-tuning what you did, looking at what you did, looking where your closings came from, and just really doubling down in those areas. And I think client appreciation is really the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think client appreciation and finding your niche market, really doubling down on what is your niche. Don't try to be everything to everybody. Find what works for you. If it's the luxury market, that's great. But if it's not, and it's, military families, or for me, it's, other female officers, I have really big network. Find your niche market, and work that market hard and stay consistent, and they will always support you.
You're exactly right. And that could be anything. It doesn't have to be military.
Yeah.
When I was PTA president, I mean, 90% of my
Yes.
sales came from the PTA. It's
Yeah.
whatever you are doing, whatever you're passionate about in your community. Don't be a secret agent. Allow
Yes.
everybody to know that you're in real estate and that you need the business. It's okay to say I need the business.
Yeah.
I mean, because what I'm coming up to now is people that will say, I didn't know that you would help my daughter buy a lower end house. Of course,
Yeah.
that's like horrible to say. I love helping people, anybody, and so sometimes I think we portray, look, I'm this and I'm that and I'm this and I'm that and I'm this, and you need to hone in and say, hey, I am doing great, and I'm doing great because of you, and thank you.
Yes.
I have something on that. I do a where I work card 2 times a year, and what I sell on the same card. So I name all the cities I work in and the type of real estate I sell. So condos, residential, investment, you name it. So because I've run into that as well, where people are like, oh, you'll sell a condo? I'm like, yes, I will sell a condo. And they're like, oh, we thought you were selling $1 million houses in Boulder all day. I'm like, no. So I think people need to know where we work and what we sell, and that we'll sell at all price points. And that's what that mailer says. So I send that out 2 times a year, just a reminder everybody that I cover a lot of different areas, a lot of different price points, a lot of different types of inventory. Yeah. So now my database is constantly aware of that, and we post it on social and whatnot.
Oh, I love it. I would love to see a copy of the postcard.
And yeah, I can send that to you for sure.
Yeah, and then that's really awesome.
I was going to share like 3 tips and tricks for logistics of just day to day, because these 3 have changed my life.
Wow.
One is
life-changing events.
What's that?
We should have started with some life-changing events.
So it is, number 1, I don't ever ask anybody when they want to see a house. I give them 3 options on times that work for me.
Okay.
And I've done that for 2 decades. Yeah. So never do I ask anybody, oh, what time works for you? So, and it's never nights and weekends. And so I don't work nights and weekends.
Yeah. Wow.
So I avoid that completely by just giving them 3 times that work for me.
Yeah.
The other thing is I put all my contract dates on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So every time I write a contract, so that way I have no dates on Tuesday, Thursdays.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then hire an unlicensed assistant. That's my golden advice.
Yeah, that's really important.
Unlicensed, super important.
Yeah, you can't get to the next level unless you build that foundation. I think assistants are the way to go.
Yeah, everybody wants a licensed assistant, I feel like, because they want that coverage.
I think you should hire out anything that you don't enjoy, or isn't bringing you joy, or is taking so much of your time that it takes away. I could write a book about this. Jen knows, because she's asked.
Yeah.
And I have no shame.
I want to be like Amy when I grow up.
I did this, 20, like you, Janet, 20 years, but I had my kids late in life. So my husband, we were both retired Navy, but he was still deploying, when I was running a team, and I had three little boys. And the only way we could do it was to hire out help. And that was, initially it was out of desperation. I hired somebody to come in my house to help me in the mornings, get out the door, and to be here if I got delayed getting home. But, I hire out my laundry, I hire out dinner, and it allows me, I have no shame in that. I think some women are afraid to admit that they need help. And I think we shouldn't be at all. So I hire out help because it allows me to be more present in my business and more present with my children. And so it allows us to sit down at the dinner table every night together, because I'm not stressing about what's going on the dinner table. So
I've forgotten that you did that. You told me
Yeah,
that.
not me. Every time I see Amy, I'm like, tell me about this again. I don't, my children are grown. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how I could rationalize this with grown
Oh,
children.
you know,
But
yeah,
somebody
you
to cook
hire
and
out,
clean and laundry and
it's, even, you guys know Phila Buddha. She's in Montana, another REMAX agent. She
yeah,
hires out anything she doesn't enjoy doing. And her kids are grown and she, doesn't even pay her own bills and does her bookkeeping. She's my inspiration. And I met her after I did this, for
wow.
years. Um, but it allows you to be more present in the things that you enjoy. You only get one life. And so,
Yeah.
don't spend it doing the things you
And be
don't enjoy.
clear, it gives you opportunity to make more money. I mean, because part of
Without a
it's like,
doubt.
oh God, could I afford to pay somebody else $20,000 a year? But if all that miscellaneous stuff is taken off your plate,
Yeah.
Yes.
you
Yeah.
can work more, spend more time with your children. You could do whatever it is you need to do more and better.
It
Hell
bar
yeah.
none pays for itself, bar none. And in the early years, I had somebody in my house till 5 o'clock, but now um, the assistant that's been with me for the last 2 years, she comes in after the kids leave for school, actually, and she leaves at 3 o'clock. So she leaves dinner on the stove, and I usually have to reheat it. Or it allows us to eat a little bit earlier before sports practice and things like that.
Yeah.
But she heads out, and it was huge for her because that meant she got to be home when her husband came home from work every day. So it's a win-win for both of us. So
Wow.
it is a
Okay.
game changer.
Wow. I love it. That's a good. I always come back to that, Amy. Every time I see you, I'm like, tell me again, tell me again. And I do want to pick your brain about property management, not necessarily right this second, but we did start a property management company this year. And we're working out some trials and tribulations. So I would love to pick your brain on that.
Yes, any day of the week. I could talk for days about how property management leads to sales, how it feeds itself. It is not easy, but man, being a full service agent and being able to offer that to your clients, you don't have to work as hard to stay in touch because you're already in touch with them all the
Yeah.
time. And tenants become buyers and
Yeah.
sellers and
So
yeah.
maybe we'll do another round for property management.
Yeah,
Get you on
yeah,
here
it'd be
again.
awesome. Yeah, I could do it again.
You're good.
That's
I
a
appreciate
decent
it.
topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate you, ladies. Thank you so much for your time.
For sure. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I appreciate you. And the general population out there, we do have agents across the United States. In Canada, I don't have any in any other part of the country other than the United States and Canada, but very well adapt in those areas. I think I have 220 agents. Oh God, might be 320 at this point that I refer out that I know personally. I either go on vacation with, go on conferences with, have on here that I can personally refer. These ladies, of course, are amongst that group. So definitely we can help you there. And then real estate agents, if you want to be on this, please let me know. I'm always scratching my head going, who now, who now? So would love the opportunity to interview you to be on the show. Awesome.
Thank
Thank y'all.
you.
Yes, thank y'all.
Okay.
Happy
Thanks
holidays.
again.
Yeah.